Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we take a stack of sources and, well, we pull out the absolute must know insights so you can get well informed and fast.
And today we're undertaking a really fascinating piece of self-examination.
We are. It's all thanks to this central idea from a source titled American Norms Through Foreign Eyes. Things Americans find normal, but foreigners don't.
hmm
We've all been there, right? You travel abroad and suddenly the way you order coffee or, I don't know, stand in line feels totally wrong.
Absolutely. But this is about flipping the script. It's about the things we do here every single day that are just as strange to an outsider.
Exactly. So, our mission today is really to gain some of that instant self awareness. We're hunting for those, those powerful aha moments
Yeah.
where a habit that's so ingrained, it's basically invisible, like saying, "How are you?" to a cashier,
Yep.
suddenly disappears as the bizarre cultural artifact it truly is. We want that shortcut to understanding the invisible blueprint we all operate under.
And that is the ultimate value proposition of this deep dive, isn't it?
Mhm.
Culture, function, it's like the operating system of a society.
Right. The stuff that's just running in the background.
Exactly. It makes these fundamental behaviors run so smoothly that you never question the code. You assume the code is universal.
And then a foreigner shows up.
And they're running a different OS. And that instant friction, that incompatibility, that reveals everything. This deep dive is purely about gaining critical perspective on that gap between, your self-perception and how you actually look to the external world.
So we're going to spend our time today unpacking some actual examples.
Yeah, standard American behaviors that just contrast so sharply with international norms. And we'll focus on the sheer variety of things that fall into this umbrella.
Mm.
We have to move past the definitions and get straight into the surprising, specific behaviors that make Americans unique, whether we realize it or not.
Okay, let's jump right into the weeds then. If we're talking about an American norm, what are we even discussing? We aren't talking about, major political institutions or laws.
No, not at all. We're talking about the repetitive, mundane aspects of daily life, the small decisions we all make every day without any conscious thought.
And I think you brought it up earlier. Perhaps the most famous example of this is that sort of mandated social interaction you have with strangers.
Exactly. Let's start right there. The transactional yet entirely non-committal friendliness of the American Service Exchange.
Yeah.
You step up to a coffee counter and you are almost required to engage in this little ritual.
Hi, how are you today?
Yep. And there's a script.
There absolutely is. The correct, culturally mandated response is, I'm good, thanks, how are you?
It's a formality, right? It's like a linguistic handshake. We don't expect the
Yeah.
cashier to actually launch into a detailed breakdown of their morning.
Precisely. And that is the core misunderstanding. For so many other cultures, asking, how are you, is an extremely high context personal question. Something you'd reserve for family or close friends.
Exactly. So to have a near stranger who is literally about to take your money, ask you that,
Hmm.
with the cultural expectation that you lie and say fine, is, well, it's inherently confusing. And for some, it's even seen as invasive or disingenuous.
Wow. Okay, that's the first aha moment right there. The American norm is prioritizing the feeling of friendliness over the actual truth of the interaction.
Yes.
Because if we step into, say, a European context, that transaction is often just swift, professional, and silent. They're prioritizing efficiency and a certain professional distance.
And what's so fascinating here is that this difference, it highlights two entirely different cultural default settings. The American default is this assumption of instant, surface-level community and optimism.
Whereas the European or maybe Asian default might be an assumption of privacy and efficiency.
You got it. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the American operational system pretty much demands that we all act cheerful while we're conducting commerce.
But this invisible code can't just be about forced pleasantries.
Oh, no.
So let's transition now to that crucial element from the source title, the foreign perspective. The realization that foreigners don't find these things normal. It isn't just a difference of opinion, it's an actual point of like real confusion.
Yeah.
What happens when our optimized system crashes into someone else's?
You get cognitive dissonance. You really do. Take, for instance, the sheer speed and the lack of ritual involved in American dining. The entire process, from ordering to receiving the bill, is just optimized for turnover and speed.
I can imagine things like speed and efficiency must come up all the time. I mean, we practically invented fast food.
We did. We absolutely did. And think about the famous free refills.
Oh, that's a huge one.
It's an almost bewildering concept in many parts of the world where, soft drinks, tea, coffee, they're treated as a commodity with a fixed price per serving. The expectation that you could just drink unlimited soda for the price of one is perceived either as incredible waste or just baffling generosity.
So the foreigner's experience, it really acts as a mirror.
It does. It makes the implicit rule explicit. The
Right.
rule being, you must be ready to leave your table quickly because this entire restaurant is optimized for efficiency.
Hmm.
So they're looking at this huge ice filled beverage glass and a check arriving before they've even ordered dessert.
And they're thinking, why are you hurrying me?
Exactly. Well, the American is sitting there thinking, this is great service. They're anticipating my needs.
That cultural mismatch, that gap between the assumed standard of service, that's where the deepest insights really are. It forces us to confront the fact that our culture has optimized so intensely for convenience and volume, sometimes maybe at the expense of a slower, more communal experience.
Precisely. It's a moment of cultural friction that reveals the underlying code. The source material suggests these differences fall into large, predictable categories. So let's try to unpack the vast scope implied by things Americans find normal by looking at, say, three core areas:
Yeah.
social interaction, logistics, and economic transparency.
Okay, let's start with logistics, because that's often the most physical, the most obvious manifestation of our norms. Beyond refills and speed, what about personal space? Our definition of personal space in public seems absolutely vast compared to a lot of places.
It's huge. Americans typically have a much larger personal bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Standing in line, for example,
Mm.
we maintain a very comfortable distance. But if you've ever been to a crowded city in, say, East Asia or Southern Europe, people stand much, much closer, often touching.
Right.
So if a foreigner adheres to their norm and stands that close to an American in a queue, the American immediately feels invaded, even threatened, because their invisible boundary has just been violated.
So we take a step back and they take a step forward. It becomes this bizarre little dance.
It really does.
Okay, and what about interactions that involve money, those economic norms? I'm thinking specifically about how we handle socializing and finance.
This is where the norm of going Dutch is almost universal here, but it's highly, highly contextual elsewhere. The expectation that friends or even professional colleagues will, without question, split a check precisely down the middle.
Or get out their phone calculator.
Yes, or calculate their exact consumption. It's just deeply ingrained in the US. In many relationship-focused cultures, though, paying for a group meal or offering to pay for everyone is a necessary social ritual. It establishes hierarchy or reciprocal debt, or it just demonstrates respect.
So to immediately start calculating the exact splits?
It can feel cold,
Yeah.
transactional, like you are diminishing the relationship in favor of economic exactness.
Yeah.
It can be viewed as valuing money over the actual connection.
Wow, that is a powerful difference. So it's not just what you do, but what that action symbolizes. The American view is I value fairness and personal accountability.
Right. And the foreign view might be you value money over generosity. It's the difference between an individualistic norm and a more collectivistic or hierarchical one. These norms really dictate how money, time, and personal space should be allocated.
Okay, let's pivot to another huge area of difference that I think falls under social interaction. The sheer volume of verbal communication required in the US.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm thinking about literal volume level, but also the expectation of just continuous commentary.
That's a great point. The American norm for public discourse often allows for and even encourages a higher volume and more expressive communication than is common in cultures that really prioritize quiet public spaces.
And beyond that, silence is awkward here.
It is. In many other parts of the world, silence is not awkward, it's just a neutral state.
Hmm.
In the US, silence is often treated as a vacuum that must be filled. We feel compelled to fill it with small talk, observations about the weather, even self-deprecating humor.
Yeah.
A foreigner, especially one who comes from a more reserved culture, often finds this relentless verbal output just exhausting and, frankly, unnecessary.
I can relate to that. When I travel, I often feel like I need to dial my own voice down by about 50%.
Hmm.
So for you, the listener, understanding this distinction is just a phenomenal shortcut to cross-cultural literacy.
It really is.
Whether you're traveling internationally, managing a diverse team, or negotiating a deal, recognizing these unspoken, invisible rules enhances your ability to predict reactions and just navigate interactions more effectively.
It's so true. It helps you recognize the difference between, oh, this person is rude, and, this person is just operating under a different set of social physics.
So if we take the three categories we've just discussed, the transactional friendliness, the high-speed logistics, and this large personal space/financial independence thing, what does it all mean for us? The most important nugget we can extract from this premise seems to be the immediate gain in self awareness.
I think,
It's a powerful and I think necessary reminder that our personal experience does not equal a universal standard.
and if we connect that to the bigger picture, appreciating this foreign observation helps us achieve a necessary critical distance from ourselves. The goal isn't just to inventory the differences, right?
Right.
The goal is to engage in critical thinking about why these norms developed in the first place.
And this is where we have to challenge our own assumptions. For example, the American norm of relentless efficiency. Sure, it often leads to better customer outcomes, faster service, fewer lines, but does it always lead to a better life?
That is the critical question. We need to stop just accepting these norms because they feel comfortable and start assessing them based on their actual merit in a modern context. Why is the need for speed so ingrained in us? Is it just a vestige of purely commercial necessity? Or does it genuinely promote better social well being?
That's a deep question.
It is. For instance, while speed and the transactional how are you might, grease the wheels of commerce, it can also contribute to a feeling of superficiality, which is often the foreign critique.
Hmm.
And if we realize that the cultural choice we made was to prioritize commercial speed over relational depth, well, then we can intentionally choose to adapt when the context calls for it. And that allows for intentional adaptation rather than just accidental conflict.
That is the real value here. It strips away the familiarity of daily life and it just exposes the underlying cultural blueprint of the United States. It's a fantastic mental exercise in cultural relativity that gives us power over our own actions. We learn that we're not just creatures of habit.
We're creatures of culture. Indeed, the value of this deep dive is not just knowing what the differences might be like whether you get a free refill or not.
Right.
It's understanding that your perception of normal is entirely situational and relative. And that knowledge, that provides both humility and power in every single cross-cultural interaction you have.
A perfect place to leave it.
So a final thought for you to consider. Based on this premise that our most common actions are invisible to us, those automatic defaults that define our national operating system, what's one thing you did today that you now suspect a foreigner would find completely bewildering?
Hmm.
Was it how quickly you finished your lunch? Was it the enthusiastic wave you gave a neighbor you barely even know? Consider that next time you step out the door.